Here we go. Watch me flex my flow. You'll be the next to know. Spit it hot flambeau. Swing them bars like whoa. Grab the remote control. Must have called a million times. I'm on the other side. Hello. Better watch that stream. Caught up in the tractor beam. Scrub that beat with bleach. So when I hit it, bro, I spit it clean. Burn it now. Have to turn the furnace down. Y'all don't want this beef. I hit them with a holy cow. Hit them with the verse. Got them thinking, wow. This ain't a game, kid. Why you play around? This that ill spit. Them bars are so sick. I'll shock the whole world in a phylactic. Every single time I spit another rhyme, the planets all align so bright I blind them with my shine. Bro, I'm designed to make your confidence decline. Every line about to blow like stepping on a landmine. Here we go. Here we go.
What is going on? 8 p.m. Sunday evening. Noah, what's going on? Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. We're trying something completely brand new. I got some banners finally hung up. I got the mic in a different spot. I got the camera in a new spot. I definitely have something cool. Little sneak peek pick cam action. Oh, yeah. But we'll get to that in a bit. Matt, what is going on? Happy Sunday, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. The weather was perfect, and there was a little bit of outdoor racing still going on, some indoor on-road racing, and a whole bunch of cool indoor clay action. We had some super fast guys racing up at the Laramie race, which we will get into because I think that's super cool. I know about one on-road race this weekend, which was at Phoenix RC Raceway, so we'll definitely touch up on that. And, oh, yeah, I think there might have been a big race in the States. What was that called? Oh, yeah, Masters of Dirt. So hopefully the sound is A-okay. If I can get a few thumbs up, that would be awesome. And then that way I will keep the mic levels where they're at. As you can see, the mic is right as close to my face as I possibly can get it without blowing spit all over it. But hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear. So, obviously, you guys know that I want to promote the hobby locally. Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate it. Jason, what's up? So with that being said, I posted a little poll today. And thank you guys for messaging. I wasn't 100% sure what I was allowed to say and what I couldn't say. So I do apologize if, I wasn't as informative as I could be. Because let's face it, with the outdoor season pretty much wound down, oh man, Ross Racing is looking to shift gears. Now, this is where you guys come in because I really don't know what Ross Racing is about to do. So as you can see on the bench, we got the on-road with all of the Bluetooth and hot wire stuff getting ready to connect and show you up on the show. But man, I'm still holding on to the off-road just a little bit. We got all this new hotness, so man, it's hard to give up. Hopefully, you guys can get in on the poll. I know, man, Windsor RC Raceway is going to be running an awesome on-road program, and I'm curious if the interest is there for running anything two-wheel drive and wheeler with a little off-road flair indoors this season. Now, I know the Barnyard is working on some things. I know that Monty's working on some things. I know they got a collab happening there, and I truly wish them the best. I know the dates are about to be announced, but let's face it, we want to work with everybody. We want to make sure that we bring you, the racers, what you guys want as well. Now, I don't mind investing a little bit of money, and there's other people in the background that are willing to invest as well. But we don't want to do all this work, and some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not know. It is a ton of work to be able to launch a new place like that. And without you, the racers, it might not be worth it to even entertain the idea. So if you could, I'm going to pull it up on the screen. Head on over to Otterville Raceway. Thank you, John, for letting me post this bad boy up. We basically have a poll up there, and if you have an opportunity, please check that out. It is going to be in and around the Windsor area. So, depending upon where you're at, it may be a drive, it may not be a drive. We got 16 votes so far. Um, you know what? It it could be, man, and it might be that Ross Racing is going to come and join you guys and just start racing slot car. You never know, man, because you guys had your second race, I believe, of the season this weekend. Hopefully that was awesome. Maybe if Mike gets on, he can give me some details, because I'd love to share more info for everybody that's local and trying to get into the slot car racing. Yeah, no, oh man, no, I know the Barnyard is definitely working on something, and this is just putting a feeler out there. I don't mind traveling a little bit, coop what's going on, and making sure that we can get to a couple events. It's just everybody knows that in the wintertime, the weather's always questionable. True, excusez-moi. So with that being said, I just want to make sure that everybody has as many options as you possibly can. Some don't mind the drive, some do, some want to stay local, some don't. So depending on what your feeling is, please hit up the Otterville Raceway and check it out. Oh, there's the totals there. Okay, so I just put in my vote. I wouldn't mind doing it one time per month. Every other weekend's at 1%. 4-point race series between December and March. To me, it looks like it's got the win. And then 5% say we have enough to do during the winter. So, like I said, we might actually just play VRC. We might just do the on-road at Windsor Raceway. We might have to go down to Extreme. We might have to go like, man, I am so not sure what Ross Racing is doing this winter. That's where the dilemma comes in. That's where you guys can definitely try and steer me in the right direction. Yeah, honestly, Dan, man, I would love to do the whole state thing, but I am so desperately trying to keep it local, man. Like, I know it's hard, and basically there's thank you, Wes. There's been one added to the Spark page as well. But, like, I think a lot of people might already have a two-wheel drive buggy or a wheeler. And basically, we're not looking to light the world on fire. We're trying to copy the same formula of what we believe works with the Barnyard, which is the 17.5 two-wheel drive and the 13.5 wheeler. I believe that it would keep costs down. I believe that everybody already has kits, and these kits can be used both for winter and summer. Colton, what's going on, man? Nice run at the race this weekend. We're definitely going to be getting to that, and hopefully you and Jordan had a great time up there. Definitely looked like a fun time. So, yeah, like, geez, I just wish I knew, because back in the day, it was always easier. We always had a plan. We knew as soon as the summer was done that we were going to do the winter series between AMS, freaking RC Clubhouse, and Dirt Burners. Usually it was like bouncing around between there. We had a lot of options. Now our options are pretty much RC1, Dirt Burners, and I believe Larry's. Look at, I got a little friend on my mic. Get rid of him. But I want to see some local options, and I know that Wes is doing the best that he can, along with Brian Kaza and BJ Marshall, bringing us some on-road racing action, and that is going to be a lot of fun. But let's face it, man, my heart is with off-road racing. I cannot get rid of my friend. But might try a little on-road with you if I can get a rent-a-ride. Coop, definitely message me. We have a few rent-a-rides in the stable for sure. Hey, Mom, how's it going? Hopefully you're having a good time over in the States. We will come and visit you guys shortly. But, like, the weird thing is, like, we have on road, we have off road, and should I just like fall in line and just do what everybody else is doing, or should I try and create new opportunity? And you guys know me, man. I can't just sit around and not take a shot. I have to throw my name in the hat and try and get this to the next level. And it's going to take support. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take effort. And you know what? I think that there's a group of local racers here that are willing to put forth that work and effort and able to pull something pretty epic off. And like I said, like we are just putting feelers out here at this particular moment. But man, I'm not gonna lie, having a local indoor off-road facility that can pull off racing even once a month, once every other month, maybe 4 times throughout the winter months isn't that bad for me. Another thing, do I just focus on the 8 scale stuff and not worry about 10 scale? There's so many things going through my brain. I wish you guys could read my thought bubbles for sure. One of the things that I wanted to get into was the Tekin stuff. Now, I know a lot of people have come to my pits and have definitely gotten some help with the tuning, got some upgrades with the software, and definitely got some power additives that were enough to put me on the trailer. Coop, not mentioning any names, and definitely had some fun with helping everybody out. But with that being said, there still is a lot of questions with regards to what you can and can't do with the Tekin software. So I'm going to try and bring this bad boy on screen, and we are going to kind of go through some of the options. Now, let me see if I can bring in both of these. So here we have the original old one, which is the black hot wire. This one is my good buddy Mark's, aka Little Legs. This one is the 2.0. This is what one I use almost exclusively for updating my software and when I have a laptop. This one is the new hotness. This is the Bluetooth 3.0, which is my favorite to use when I'm at the track because I only need my cell phone. Now, the Bluetooth one can still hook up through a computer, but having the capabilities of changing your settings at the track is epic, especially just using your cell phone for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the 2.0. We're going to skip to the 2.0. Now, with the 2.0, there's 2 different options. They give you the little jumper wire that can go into the fan port. They also give you the other wire that can go into the actual ESC plug. So depending on your setup and what's easier for you, I just go in through the fan. And it is clearly marked on all of the ESC, black wire, typically to the outside. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to line that up, plug it in, and you will see it'll start loading on the screen. Now, I just have to make sure it is on the right screen, and it is not, so I got to move this over so you guys can see it again. I'm going to bring me back into the screen, and hopefully this is working. So I'm going to hide that, and I think this is me right here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now that we got it on the screen, this is your actual dashboard. So this is where you can get into some pretty exciting stuff. So hopefully you guys can see my mouse. I actually increased the mouse size, so hopefully if you guys are watching it on a phone, it still makes sense. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have your cell count right. Since this is in an on-road touring car, we are definitely going to leave it at the 2 cell. Now, to get maximum speed and torque out of your ESC, always turn your VEC up to the 7.4. Little caveat there, please make sure that your steering servo will support that. I'm running my Tekin servo in here, so I know I will have no problems whatsoever running that setup. Brian, what is going on, man? Awesome picture with the little one today. All right, so since this is on road, I actually have some drag brake in this car. So I always leave my brake strength at 100 and I pull it out of my radio. So these are some of the things that you can actually manipulate in the actual brake function of your tuning software. So one of the nice features is this right here. It's called the brake frequency. Now you can see in the graph here, or in the drop down, sorry, it gets from 750 all the way to 12,000. And now the lower you go, the stronger it gets. The higher you go, the weaker it gets. So playing with that setting gets you a better feel for when you're actually hard on the binders. You always want to make sure you have enough, but not going to spin out. So awesome option there. The next thing that we have is RPM braking. RPM braking is awesome when you have a huge straightaway and you're trying to carry as much speed into that turn as you possibly can without locking up and spinning out. So the active braking, the RPM braking, what it does is, as it detects RPM, it will apply less brake until you get down into a lower RPM range. Another great feature to play with. So those are the two that I definitely enjoy manipulating and trying to find the sweet spot for my driving style. So the active braking. So this adds additional brake power when the brakes are applied at a rapid rate by the user. So smooth brake transitions are not affected. So what does that mean? Okay, you guys all know that if you jump and you have your nose up high, if you jam on the brakes real quick, you want maximum brakes to drop that down and change the attitude of your vehicle. Having active brake enabled will definitely help you out if you get in a kind of wrong position where you need that extra strength in the brakes. Next tab is your throttle tab. So as you can see, reverse speed, first thing I'm going to do is boom, just turn that off. And most racers will typically have that off. Since this is in the blinking mode, I always leave it at max torque. So the next thing that I would be messing around with would be the throttle frequency. Similar to the braking frequency, you have a more aggressive feel the lower the number goes, and a more mild feel the higher the number goes. So that is a little bit of personal preference, and I think that you would want to put it as aggressive as you can based on the track grip levels, and just kind of mess with that each round just to see what you can get. And now I know that a lot of people like to practice. That is an awesome time to go back and forth with your Bluetooth Connect, which I will show you guys in a second. So this right here is for blinky purposes, but I have it unlocked so I can actually go into some more of the options with you guys. So the nice thing about this is it has the presets, but you have two different custom timings. So you have custom 1 and custom 2. Now, you notice the difference between custom 1 and custom 2. This has an actual different look to it. So in custom 1, you have the boost and the turbo, whereas in custom 2, you have the advanced timing, your end RPM, and turbo. So a little bit more. Man, John, unfortunately, I cannot make it any bigger. I'm going to try and do one where I pre-record it, but the best thing I can do for you guys is share Ty's link, because Ty has this on YouTube, and he goes into this and nails a home run. I'm just doing a quick overview for some of the questions. Excuse me. For some of the questions that I've been asked over the last couple races. So one of the things that everybody always asks me is, where do I normally put my settings for off-road, especially in my 4x4 short course? So I'm going to kind of go through and show you guys what I do. So, that's weird. I was like totally on the wrong screen. I thought I meant everything. All right, so now that we're back here, so what I typically do here is I go anywhere between 10 to 17. Then I go into the end RPM. End RPM, I always go a little bit higher than what I feel. Just that way it spreads it out, makes it a little bit more pull on the throttle. Calculate the end RPM. And once you do that, now you're going to pick your start RPM. Now, I want it to be as linear as possible, so obviously I'm going to start at the 906. And now for the turbo. The turbo I only got into when John had the huge straight and when I went to a different, we are talking Tekin language, aren't we? Yeah, for sure. So basically what I do for the turbo is if I feel I need a little bit more on a straightaway where I might be getting out pulled or whatever, I'll add it in then. Oh, man. Dude, I'm super excited that you guys are giving Tekin a chance and jumping on board. I think it's going to be awesome. So with this is where you can actually get into a lot of cool settings. I think that this is another one that is going to be super cool. Now, this actually has only a few options here. You can change it to be an exponential or positive exponential, depending on what you want to go through. Now, with the custom ones, you can actually go into the custom ones now and make your own ramp. Now, I'm going to link Ty stuff into this just so you guys can kind of get a feel for what the whole deal is with the new software. Because let's face it, the new software allows you to change each individual point to your own custom race conditions, and it couldn't be more customizable for you. It will allow you to put maximum power down just where you need it. Okay, so now that we got this one done, I'm not going to save any of the changes. I'm just going to pop this out. So I'm hoping, let me see if I can zoom in here. So let's see. Okay. Now this might be, yeah, like I already don't like it. I apologize because this camera, I'm going to have to get a better one. Even my camera is not the best. But basically what I was going to show you is how easy it is to connect via the Bluetooth. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually plug in my Bluetooth first. And then this one, you actually need battery power. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in. I'm just going to turn it on, and you're going to see the power boot up on the actual hot wire. So now that you're in the software, all you have to do is just go to connect. And the reason why I can just go to connect is because I already had it previously bound to this phone. And going through the bind settings, it's the same as hooking up any Bluetooth device. All you want to do is make sure that you have your hot wire in the bind mode, your phone in the bind mode, search for new device, and you'll be able to pair it. So now that we have it in here, the only thing that I'm going to show you guys, which is super cool, I'm just going to change the VEC. I'm going to go to 7 volts, just go right here, and we're going to apply the settings. You're going to see it says do not disconnect, and then now settings are saved. And it is as easy as that. Now, I don't think it gets much easier. So now I'm just going to turn this off. I'm going to unplug it from the speed control. I'm going to unplug my battery. And there you have it, boys and girls. Easy as that. It honestly doesn't get much easier. And I'm definitely excited to show that off. Anybody that wants to check it out, swing by the pitch. You know where we're at. And we'll definitely give you an in-person demo with that for sure. So let me get to some racing action. Like I said, we had some local racing action for you guys, and you know what? Let's show it up. Here we go. So Phoenix RC Raceway, some on-road racing action, and we're going to get into the results here, and I think that are the mains done yet? Double A, double A, double A, single A, single A. Okay, so we are going to start with what would be the biggest one? USGT usually is the biggest. Mod TC, usually is the smallest. So we will start off with the mod touring car. So you got Brett in the top spot, Francis Lee in the 2, Edwin in the number 3 spot, Anthony and Ty. So not too shabby there. Great start to the season for Brett, obviously. Next, we are going to go to the mod F1. Let's see how F1 is up there. All right, so you have Pete in the number 1 spot, GWIZ in the number 2 spot, Clint in the number 3, Faraz in the number 4, and Brandon in the number 5. This was their Carpet Wars event, and it does not look like they didn't disappoint. It looks like there were some close battles. So let's keep this ball moving. I'm just guessing here. I'm going to do 13-5, 12 scale. You got Leonard, JB, Jason, and GWIZ. I'm not sure who that is. But if you look, it was A1, A2. Definitely a close race. JB trying to come back strong, but just didn't have what it took to take that top spot. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, so we got touring car. We'll save that for last. Even though I like USGT better, we will say touring car for the last. So you got Peter taking the top spot, followed by John, Faraz, and Ty, followed by GWIZ. And you know what? It looks like those two both did not start, so it was a race for the podium. Peter taking the win with that. All right, so saving the best for last, or the premier class, as some would like to say. You got Edwin taking the top spot, John in the number 2, Clint rounding out the podium, Greg in the 4th, and Basil in the number 5. So looked like they had some really good racing action out at Phoenix. If anybody wants to message me about the race or anything like that, definitely do so, please. All right, so also we had the Lamy Championship 2022 Center to Hobby, and man, oh man, 134 entries, 55 unique drivers, almost 12,000 race laps total. Man, the action here must have been epic. I was seeing posts about this all day long, trying to keep up with everything that was going on. So we are going to get into the Triple A mains. Now, here I'm not sure if there's any bumps, but we are going to just try and stick to the A mains. So, 4-wheel drive Truggy, Triple A main. Here we go. Steve Seguin. Oh my God, Mr. TQ man himself. Congratulations, Steve. Jonathan in the number 2, Dave in the number 3, Matt in the number 4, and rounding out your top 5 is Mark Andre. Awesome racing in the little baby truggy class. That's one class I'm blown away, has not exploded yet. I'm waiting for that to kind of explode in the near future. I'm just wondering in general, what the heck is Ross Racing going to do for the winter? What are we going to do? Man. Oh, Andre, hey, congratulations to all my Summit RC Racing teammates. I know you guys had an awesome time, and you, Andre, and the Rhymers look like you guys were having a blast. I know that a few people were messaging me about the results and stuff like that, and it looked like it was a good time. So, Stadium Truck, Triple A main, Jordan going 1 and 2, closing out the show early. Congratulations to Jordan Miles, showing us how it's done in Stadium Truck. Number 2 is going to be Nathan. Number 3 is going to be Gatan. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Gatan. And it looks like he is definitely a relative of the family. Andre in the number 4 spot, and Eric Deshane. And Colton Vogel, I have to give him a shout out for sure. Colton's joining us on the show. Hopefully he is still tuning in. But good job racing there. All right. So next up, 4-wheel drive buggy, FED CBA. Oh my God, we're gonna actually say that. That was a packed event. We're gonna go right to the two-wheel drive 40 plus AMA results. So you got Tekin. Oh my God, he might be his father. Who knows? But he went number one, and did not sit out. A3 wanted the whole cake and eating it too, taking down everybody, all three, A1, A2, A3. Awesome job. Pretty consistent for Matt as well, as you, Matthew, I believe. Second across the board. Then you got David DeVries, Dave Belly, Githium, Alex, and Jean Fortin. Guys, I'm sorry I'm not French. I'm probably destroying your guys' names, but it definitely looked like a great time, a lot of fun. That was your 40 plus two-wheel drive. Now we got the spec two-wheel drive buggy. Wow, that was also packed. Was there mod two-wheel drive buggy as well? So two-wheel drive buggy, mod buggy. So hold on, let me see here. Oh, spec. Oh, okay, here we go. No. I'm back on track. That was two-wheel drive. All right, so Tekin again taking the top spot. First, and didn't do the A3 this time. You got Yves in the number 2 spot. Colton, awesome job, bud. Fucking top 3. Sorry, didn't mean to swear. Top 3, Colton. That is awesome, man. It is good to see with all the hard work that this kid puts in. Awesome to see him making the podium in the spec buggy class. You got David in the number 4, Mark Andre in the 5, and Carl rounded out the top 6 there. So we are going to do the Wheeler next, even though I believe it was a little bit more popular, but they always say two-wheel drive for last for some reason. So four-wheel drive Wheeler class, you got Mathis taking the top spot. That is crazy. So hold on, we got some inside info on the spec. Yeah, spec stock is a Reedy fixed timing motor for that class. Makes it even better because everybody's on an even plane. Congratulations to the winners there. Anybody in that race, definitely a hard one to master with a spec class. Love seeing stuff like that because I believe that is the way to get into the hobby and keep it as cheap as possible. So going back to the AAA mains for Wheeler, you got Mathis taking the top spot. Brian Ross, love the name. Number 2, I can definitely pronounce that right. Eric Deschaines rounding out the podium. You got Matthew in the number 4 and Nathan in the number 5. David Ryman, David Dees, and Yves all rounding out the top spots. So awesome battling there for sure. Brian Ross had a chance, just couldn't close the deal on Mathis. So we're going to keep on going. We got one more left here, and it is the two-wheel drive buggy AAA mains. So you got Damon Lamy up in the number 1 spot, closing it out early in A1 and A2. Gaetan in the number 2 spot. He needed A2 and A3 to pull that off. Mathis in the number 3 spot. Nathan in the 4. Brian Ross in the 5. Number 6 is Matthew. Number 7, David. And number 8 is Jordan. Definitely some talent there. And if you haven't checked out this facility, please head over to their Facebook page. Give them a like. Try and follow them on all the social media platforms. It looks like it was definitely a good time. So, as you guys know, I am trying to keep it local, but there was a big event that we have to talk about. It was the Beach RC Masters of Dirt, and man, 400 entries, 147 plus drivers, almost 26,000 laps done in this thing, and wowzers. What a crazy day of racing. I'm just going to see if this is the actual latest and greatest. Yes, it is. All right, so we are going to get into the mains, starting with, where do we start here? So you got your S-Works 21.5 two-wheel drive buggy, A main. So this is their, I guess, future champs class, and I think that it was great. My kids used to race it when they were just getting into RC. Super fun, super competitive, and it teaches you a lot of respect on the throttle. Two-wheel drive, 21.5, A main. You got Corey taking the top spot, Kaylee Brooks in the number 2, and Cameron Ford rounded out the podium in 21.5. Not a lot of big names in there that we know, so we are going to keep the ball rolling with that. Up next, we got the four-wheel drive Assault four-wheel drive Truggy A main. You got Ryder in the number 1 spot, Nathaniel in the 2, and Eric in the number 3. Also, like I said, man, I am surprised that this class is not picking up steam. Going to the 40-plus two-wheel drive buggy racing action. I don't know if you guys were able to see this race, but awesome Al Horn was in an epic battle with Chris, and man, were they going back and forth. Let's see if we have the map here. You can see that the battles for first and second were pretty good. It looks like they only crossed for 4 laps, but man, what an epic battle. Al Horn with the victory lap there, though, 96% to 96%, basically neck and neck. Oh, man, you couldn't ask for a better final for the 40-plus two-wheel drive. So, like I said, Al Horn, number 1, Chris, number 2, Paul in the number 3 spot. So we're going to keep on going here. So, a main right here for 17.5. Two-wheel drive buggy A main. We have Brendan Schimmel, Mason Templeton, and Doug Lavery in the top 3. So this is what I'm going to say about 17.5. 17.5 is the fastest guys in the class that are basically on the cusp of going to mod. Now, this is such a cool race to see, because, man, they are pushing these 17.5 two-wheel drive buggies to the absolute max, and it is cool to see. After that, we got the Factory Tracks Racing Open two-wheel drive buggy A main. So, open. So, Joey taking the top spot, Dustin taking the 2, Kyle taking the 3. Now, the open class, I believe, unless it was a beginner, I think that's what I would be in, or I'd be in 40 plus. I'm not 100% sure. But then we got the Trinity two-wheel drive mod buggy. And I'm just going to keep going in order. This is race 54. You got Spencer Rivkin taking the win with 98% consistency with the last lap of an 18 flat. Like, jeez, kid was flying. Dakota Fenn in the 2, and Tater Sontag rounding out the top 3. Tater definitely had an epic event this weekend. Awesome to finally see him stepping it up in the A mains. Now we're going to get into the ProTech RC two-wheel drive short course. You know I love the short bus. Number 1, you had Alex. Number 2, you had Cody. Number 3, you had Charlie. And that was some beating and banging. If you didn't see that, definitely check it out. They even had money races thrown in the mix with all that stuff, too. It was a lot of fun. So the Hobbywing 13.5 Stadium truck, you got Kyle taking down the top spot. Past champ, Masters of Dirt as well. Kyle in the 13.5 Stadium truck win. Mason in the number 2, and Brendan Schimmel in the number 3. And as you guys know, the Master of Dirt is compiled of 3 classes for the Open and 2 classes for the Stock. So it's a combination of those points that get you the overall championship. So we are going to keep going, and it is the Ultimate Racing 40-plus four-wheel drive buggy. Once again, it's no surprise. Awesome Al Horn taking the win over Chris. And then you got Luke in the number 3. But the battle was for the top spot. it went actually, let's see if we can check out this one. Look at that. Al dropped all the way down to the 3 spot. Sorry, no, all the way down to the 4 spot. Had to start chipping away. Made the last pass and never looked back. What lap was that on? That was on lap 19 of 32, I believe. So 33, sorry, 33. I didn't see the last pick there. But awesome Al Horn. Definitely the Masters of Dirt 40-plus champ. Now getting into the Mod J Concepts Mod Stadium truck. You got Dustin Evans taking an epic win over Spencer Ripken. You got Ryan Cavalieri in third. All 3 of those guys, look at that. There was less than half a second between first and second. And trust me, the battle for that was an awesome, epic battle. Sure, keep on going. You got 13.5 Proline 4-wheel drive buggy A main. You got Brendan Schimmel taking the top spot. Nice to see him. He puts in a ton of work. We'll see how far he can go with that. You got Nate in the 2 and Doug in the number 3 spot. Keep on going. Team Losi Racing 4-wheel drive buggy A main, sponsored by Team Losi, and of course, none other than the Phenom Dakota Fenn ran away with this one. He basically had a 3-second lead throughout pretty much the gist of it. Everybody knows that Aiden did that epic pass on Spencer, his teammate, but he didn't have to. Spencer knew he just had to finish on the podium. He basically let Aiden have that, or at least that's what Aiden gave the impression of. But Aiden was definitely keeping the excitement alive at the track. If you haven't checked out any of the interviews from Lefty the Great, the No Name RC podcast, definitely head over there and check it out. But you got Dakota Fenn, Aiden Horn, and Spencer Ripken in the top 3. But man, oh man, what an epic event that must have been. The good times, the shenanigans, the pit racing, the party that they had Friday night, all catered. Brent Dunford definitely knows how to put on an event, and it is definitely something to look forward to in 2023. Who knows, if I actually start getting into the 10th scale 2-wheel drive and wheeler classes, it could be a possibility. Who knows? They also do the Badlands. That is their outdoor off-road track, and they had an epic event there as well. Now, they were able to pull off 3 huge epic events, and he keeps saying how good his team is, and I would have to say that they get a tip of the hat for pulling off 3 epic events back to back to back. One being RCGP, one being the Masters of Dirt, and I'm not sure what the third one was, but it was the week before that for sure. Yes, sir, John. The Otters are going full Tekin for the 2023 season, so I'm looking forward to helping them get their setup done correctly with all new gear. They're going to be a welcome addition to the Tekin family. I know Jared was definitely hyping it up, talking to them, answering all their questions. I know I've been a huge supporter of Tekin over basically my entire RC racing career. They've been with me. Even before I was sponsored by them, I was a customer, and a proud customer at that. Their support is second to none. And speaking of support, speaking of what's going on, we are looking at improving the whole RC racing news podcast, and we want to make sure that we're bringing you content that you guys can enjoy. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and break it up into 15-minute segments. So what does that mean for you, the viewer? Well, it means that you can skip to certain parts that you want to definitely hit on. If there's a part that you guys missed and you want to replay, it'll make it easier, and I believe breaking it up will have a definitely good theme to it. I'm kind of taking this from Keenan. Keenan's got the most successful platform for RC podcasts, to my knowledge. There might be others out there, but I believe Keenan with the No Name RC podcast is definitely killing it. and I know he's been a huge inspiration for me to keep going. I can't believe I'm already on episode 43 and still going strong. Thanks to you guys for tuning in. But what I want to do is break it up into segments, have it more controlled, have better dialogue, and basically not be going off the top of my head. Now, when it's going good and you guys are giving me questions and the comments are flowing, it's definitely a lot easier to keep the ball rolling. And I know that if we have it more structured, it'll be easier to do. So moving into the 2023 season, obviously we got S-Works, we got Tekin, we got Summit RC Racing, and we would like to bring in a couple others on board as well. So what does that mean? The silly season is coming up. It's right around the corner, and I've been getting a ton of emails and questions about how can I get on the S-Works team. I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. I couldn't be more prouder of the team that we were able to pull off in 2022. I believe we got the young guns. I believe we got some old talent. I believe we got some dedicated peeps on the team working their tails off to figure these platforms out and kits and share all that knowledge with the team, which I couldn't be more blessed. Because if it wasn't for the team, I wouldn't have been able to get the results that I was even thankful for this season. All my personal bests were met and blown away this season as well. So this whole podcast is now coming full circle because what did we talk about at the beginning? We talked about what Ross Racing is going to do. I also asked for you guys to go and vote on the poll on the Otterville Raceway page. It is basically asking, I'm asking for your help. What should Ross Racing do in the 2022-23 Winter Series? Should I just stick to on-road? You know, I love me some on-road racing. We got this thing basically set up. This is my son's. I just basically got everything ready to rock and roll. I'm putting his receiver and transponder in this puppy, getting it all ready to rock and roll. But, man, I'm just not ready to give up the off-road gig yet. Man, we got to go and mess around with some of our other vehicles, just running it through. I was able to get some nitro action in as well since it was a beautiful day. And I'm doing all the testing on our all new S-powered motors, breaking them in, seeing what the different manifolds do. And I'm just trying to get a feel for it. So when I get questioned, I actually have a legitimate answer for you guys. And you know what? Man, I just want to make sure we keep it local, keep it awesome, and keep you guys going. Like, we got VRC, we got Windsor RC Raceway, we got Extreme, we got the RC Niagara, we got other things that are already in place. Like, do we need something else? That is the big question. Or do we have enough? I still got to put it out there. I know that it's free to comment. Obviously, it's going to be in the Windsor area, but beyond that, I'm honestly, my mind's just racing. I don't know which way to go, and I truly do want to make sure that we have as much fun throughout the winter months as we possibly can. With that in mind, I do have to work as much overtime as I possibly can just to recoup the bank account and make sure I have ample bank time to get off all those weekends in the 2023 season that I know we will be trying to do. That's basically where I'm going to leave you guys tonight. It was a quick show. I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. And like I said, if you could head on over to John's page and please vote if you guys are willing to make the drive all the way down to Windsor. If not, don't worry about it. It's just one of those feeler things that I thought would be a positive vibe for the RC racing community. And if there's ever an opportunity to bring another racing venue to the stream, you know, I would jump in and help out the best I can. Also, we have less than 20 spots before we can give away either the Nitro pre-built roller, built with all the best from Cal RC, one of my first sponsors. It's got all the goodies in that. So if you want to win the pre-assembled Nitro buggy, you can pick that, or you can pick the e-buggy as well. That is still sealed in the box behind me in the store. So depending on what your poison is for the upcoming season, you get to pick it. So let's try and get those last 20 spots filled, and we can give away a buggy, hopefully on the next show. I'm also working on a couple cool guests we have in the wings, and I think that some of the guests that we're going to have is going to open up your eyes as to the history of how the RC community was back in the day and how much fun it was and how much fun it continues to be. So with that note, I'm going to cut you guys loose. You guys have a great night, and I will see you next weekend. Episode 44 right around the corner. Cheers for now.